We must preserve these sacred texts for generations to come. Every word carries the weight of our history.
But 400 years after Dawood, A.S., Palestine was attacked again, this time by the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar, Bucht-Nassar. He killed hundreds of thousands of Jews, destroyed their temple, and ordered every copy of the Torah to be collected and burned. Once again, both Torah and Psalms vanished from the world. For the next 100 years, there was no Torah or Psalms anywhere. A Jew later rewrote the Torah, but then another king attacked, burning every copy again. A third time, the Jews rewrote it. That is why the Torah that exists today is not the original revealed to Musa, A.S., but a version rewritten after disappearing multiple times. Even Jews themselves do not consider today's Torah to be the original scripture of Moses. Because of these repeated losses and alterations, the Torah became so corrupted that not a single divine book remained in its pure form. Therefore, Allah revealed His third scripture to Isa, Jesus A.S., the Gospel, Injil. But just like the Qur'an at first, the Gospel was not written down as a book during Isa's lifetime. After Isa, A.S., departed this world, his followers passed it on orally. Finally, 100 years later, a man wrote the first Gospel, claiming it to be authentic, but the Christians of that time rejected it.
Confusion grew, and soon people began writing their own Gospels. By 300 years after Isa, there were thousands of different Gospels in existence. This forced Christian scholars to convene a massive council, where they selected only 4 Gospels from among thousands and rejected the rest. That is why today's Bible cannot be called the true Injil of Isa, A.S. Even Christians themselves do not consider it the pure original. So, when the Torah, Psalms, and Gospel were all lost, Allah revealed His final scripture, the Qur'an. But just like earlier scriptures, debates arose during Uthman's caliphate over its recitation. This is why Hudhayfa ibn al-Yaman, R.A., rushed to warn Uthman, R.A. However, Uthman, R.A., was already aware of the issue. Not long before, in Medina, 2 boys recited the Qur'an to each other. Though the Qur'an was the same, their dialects differed, and they began fighting. Even their teachers joined the argument. This dispute spread so widely that it eventually reached Uthman himself. With debates raging from Medina to the frontiers of the Caliphate, Uthman, R.A., made the most important decision of his life. He gathered all the senior companions in the Prophet's mosque, stood upon the pulpit of the Prophet, and declared, "The time has come to unite the entire Muslim world upon a single dialect of the Qur'an." Though some companions were initially hesitant, the majority, including Ali ibn Abi Talib, R.A., the future Caliph, fully supported him. To carry out this monumental task, Uthman, IRA, formed a committee of 8 scholars, led by Zayd ibn Thabit, R.A. Zayd was no ordinary companion. He had served as the Prophet's scribe, writing down the Quranic revelations during his lifetime. He had also compiled the Qur'an in book form during the Caliphate of Abu Bakr, R.A. That first written copy had been kept with Abu Bakr, then Umar, R.A., and afterwards entrusted to Hafsa, R.A., the daughter of Umar and mother of the believers. Uthman, E.R.A., requested that copy from Hafsa and instructed Zayd ibn Thabit to use it as the reference for producing a unified Qur'an in the dialect of Quraysh, the very dialect in which the Qur'an had originally been revealed. Once the Qur'an was completed in this single dialect, Uthman, R.A., ordered that all other fragments of the Qur'an, whether written on leather, stones, or leaves, be collected and handed over to the state. Muslims across the Caliphate submitted their personal copies. When they were all gathered, Uthman, R.A., commanded that they be burned. After this, only one version remained, the Qur'an in the Qurayshi dialect. Uthman, R.A., then had 7 copies made and distributed to the major cities of the Caliphate, proclaiming that from now on, this would be the one and only Qur'an for the entire Muslim world. The the same Qur'an compiled under Uthman, R.A., is the one read today by billions of Muslims around the globe. Portions of Uthman's original manuscript still exist today in places such as Uzbekistan, Istanbul, Damascus, and even Birmingham. Through this decision, Uthman, R.A., preserved the Qur'an from corruption, unlike the Torah or Gospel, and ensured that no one could ever question its authenticity. Although he had successfully united the Muslims under one Qur'an, the Caliphate's rapid territorial expansion came to a halt. The Roman Empire's forces blocked further advances. The only path left for the Muslims to expand was through the sea, and thus during the Caliphate of Uthman, R.A., the history of Islam's very first navy began.